In case you haven't heard, Pixelate just released the latest report on GDPR violation risks in the Apple App Store. It's important to us at Pixelate that you understand what we're currently researching, trends we're seeing, and how it impacts sellers, publishers, and consumers alike. I'm Maddie, and today we're diving into this latest report with our Vice President of Platform Growth, Tyler Lochner, and Yusra Kayani, Director of Data Protection and Privacy for EMEA, who co-authored the report. Turning first to Tyler, why is this report such a significant development for Pixelate and the industry as a whole?
This report shines a light on what seems to be some deeply concerning practices within the Apple App Store that's putting users' privacy at risk without appropriate safeguards. Apple prides itself on privacy, yet according to our data, over 380,000 EU and UK residents had their personal data shared in the open programmatic advertising bid stream during the first part of 2024. At Pixelate, our mission is to shine a light on all risk factors within the digital advertising supply chain, including privacy compliance, and this report is a major component of that.
We're looking at a number of concerning potential GDPR violations. For instance, GDPR Article 5.1 was drafted to ensure that users' personal data is processed lawfully, fairly, and transparently, whereas Articles 12 and 13 deal with the transparency requirements with more granular detail, such as requiring data controllers, in this case apps, to disclose in their privacy policies or privacy notices how they are processing users' personal data. However, while conducting our investigations for this report, we observed that not only are these apps most likely failing to meet GDPR's lawful processing and transparency requirements, but are also sharing users' sensitive data like user location, IP addresses, and device identifiers such as IDFAs, IDFVs, without having any privacy policies in place.
Okay, so thousands of apps are possibly violating GDPR, but how does this impact Apple? What are the implications for Apple as a platform, and is it possible that they're facing illegal challenges here?
As a data controller under the GDPR, Apple is accountable for ensuring that the personal data of EU and UK users, including IDFA and IDFV, when transmitted to App Store hosted apps, is done so with the necessary and appropriate safeguards in place. However, according to our analysis, Apple does appear to be sharing such data of EU and UK residents with potentially non-compliant apps that are likely violating GDPR Articles 12, 13, and 14.
Exactly. We've identified a top 10 list of apps that appear to be violating multiple GDPR provisions in terms of sharing personal data without privacy policies. The presented examples in our report also illustrate just how widespread the issue is. There are a collective estimated 109,000 users across just these 10 apps. And as Tyler mentioned earlier, we believe more than 380,000 users have had personal data shared by apps without detected privacy policies.
We get into the weeds in the report itself. To fully understand the scope and the legal ramifications, go to pixelate.com/reports. You can download the report for free.
Is there anything you'd like people to know or keep in mind when reading the report for themselves? What are you hoping to come of this report?
Ultimately, we want our audience to focus on the numbers. Over 380,000 EU and UK residents had their personal data shared in the open programmatic ad bid stream on apps that did not have a detectable privacy policy. That is a large number. Apple hosted 1,384 apps with no detectable privacy policy that were sharing such personal information like IP address, device ID, location, and 24% of those apps were sharing all three of those. We want to help all companies in the digital ad supply chain, including Apple, fully understand the privacy compliance risks in the mobile app advertising ecosystem. That way everybody can do their part to improve user privacy and align with rules and regulations.
As Tyler mentioned earlier, Pixelate provides all reports free of charge at pixelate.com/reports. Click the link in the video description to get there directly, and feel free to explore other reports while you're there. If you have any questions about this report or any others, don't hesitate to reach out at info@pixelate.com.